What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Ready to Love Season 7, Episode 2. So we are after the elimination, and we are at brunch the next day or 2 days later, however late it is. And everybody is coming together. We see who's who and what's what. Everybody look the same the day after. And of course Tommy comes through, and they already know that when Tommy comes through, it's gonna be some stuff to come through with. So Tommy says, listen, I done added 4 more people to the mix, okay? I got 2 ladies and I got 2 guys. Now, we knew that. Now, last time they did it gradually where they had different dates and people came in through the dates. But this time, this time Tommy was like, okay, well, we just going to add y'all through to this brunch and let y'all get to know each other at the brunch, okay? So at the brunch, so the 4 new people, we have Cynthia, we have Jonique, we have Fabrice, and we have Mark Anthony. Now, let me tell you a little bit about these 4 people, okay? Jonique is a software distro owner, I think is what it said. Okay. She is our customary thick girl. I hate that I have to say it like that, but I just feel like every year we just got one thick girl. And I guess they do the same thing for the guys. We generally have like one thick guy, whatever. Cynthia owns her own consulting firm. She's 37. Jonique is in her 30s. I didn't get the exact age. And she has 2 children, and she has a Haitian mom. And she said, listen, when I was growing up, coming from, me and my mom didn't always get along because we had, I had a Haitian mom and she was very strict. She said, but now that I'm a mother, I get it. I do understand. Fabrice is Haitian. He's a fashion designer. He has traveled the world. He's lived in Paris. He said he worked for Armani. He is also Haitian. And he said he's lived all over. He's worked all over, and he's looking. He's 44. Mark Anthony is 34. He's a medical lab tech, but he is currently in training to become a pilot, okay? Now, he is also, I believe he's also Haitian, but he lived in New Jersey before he moved to Miami. Now, Mark was having a conversation where, I think that was Corvea, and she was talking about being spoiled, and he was like, yeah, I'm not here to do that. He was like, if a woman earns it, she was like, oh my gosh, don't tell me you're the guy that says that a woman has to earn her. Yeah. He was like, yeah. He said she was giving him gold digger vibes. I said, ooh. So Tommy left them alone for the new people to kind of get to know each other and mix and mingle or whatever. That was one of the conversations I just told you about. Now, Z is running around trying to figure out why she was in the bottom. And I get it. I understand that, you think you're doing all the right things. You mixing, you mingling, you having good conversation, you joining in with the people. Like, I understand that. But then the flip side is you focus too much on what other people are saying, and then you end up here. So, because what happened was the guys were like, okay, Z's not fun anymore. Like, she's so busy worried about who said what and who did this and who did that, like, she's getting on our nerves and she's just not funny. And it was very off-putting. So I was like, Z, you making a bad situation worse, girl. You making a bad situation worse. Andre and Jeffrey seem to have a connection. But Andre, I feel like, is going to have a couple of connections. Because Andre seemed to be like, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. We'll see. Now, there was 2 group dates. Group date number 1 was the original 6 guys with the 2 new ladies, and the original 6 ladies with the 2 new guys. So for that date, we see that Cynthia talks about being submissive to her man. She said, listen, I'm a boss because I have to be a boss. I'm in charge because I have to be in charge. But if I find the right man, I have no problem handing over the leadership, the head of the household, all of that to him. Like, I'm all about my man being the head of the household. Like, I'm cool with that or whatever. Jonique was the exact opposite. She's very sassy. She's very much, You got to keep up with me, and either you're going to keep up with me or you not. Either you the one for me or you not, and it's cool either way. You know, I know what I bring to the table kind of thing. They asked her about what she finds attractive. Would you date an ugly guy? And I just think those kind of questions to me are ridiculous. Like, they asked Cynthia, who at this table do you find attractive? And then they're going to tell her, and don't lie and say everybody. And she was like, no, I am going to say everybody, which I love the fact that she said that. She said, I am going to say everybody, because what I've learned in my life is you can't judge a book by its cover. So right now, I'm just meeting everybody. I'm just getting to know everybody. So right now, everybody is attractive to me until they're not. I was here for that. I said, yes, girl, get them together and tell them that everybody is attractive until they not, until they do something to make themselves unattractive. They asked Jonique the same thing about dating an ugly man. Again, I think that's a very elementary school question, because, and like she even said, she said, well, I've dated guys that other people might have thought were ugly, or, you know, or had ugly features. But for me, they were fine by me because they treated me good and they had a good heart and all of that. And I'm just like, what other answers did y'all think they were going to give? Like, I just thought those were dumb questions. That was just me. I just thought those were dumb questions. Now, for the group date with the ladies, child, that daggone Fabrice, all he talked about was sex, and how when he lived in Paris, it's very sexual, and how you got to be down and you have to be very sexual to be with him. And if you don't like sex and you're not a sexual person, then he can't do nothing. Which I was like, you coming off real strong, sir, for some, like, you literally just met these women. Like, you are really coming off kind of strong. So I thought that was a bit much, personally. And so did some of the other ladies. They thought it was a bit strong. So I think he might be in trouble next week unless he does something real, you know. We had a couple of one-on-one dates. So we had Tony and Marcia, excuse me. And Marcia is a fashion designer. Tony is a tax advisor, I think it was. She talked about how she was a problem child when she was younger, but that people really poured into her. People really, you know, extended themselves to her. And so that's how, you know, she likes to do that to others, because she said you never know that person, that homeless person, that person that has an attitude or whatever. You don't know their story, and sometimes people just need to pour into them. So then they got ready to eat, and Tony said that prayer, and Marcia was here for it, and Tony was here for it, and so they kind of had a good connection. Then we had a one-on-one date between Blake and Z. Girl, it was uncomfortable as hell. Z said she felt like she was on a job interview. He was just asking her question. He said he felt like he had to pull everything out of her, and he didn't really get to know her, and she didn't really go below the surface, and so it was uncomfortable. And I said, poor Z, that's it for her. I figured Z was gone, because it was a men's elimination. So I said, child, Z gone, child. So we get to the lounge, you know, the guys are at the lounge, and Tommy stresses to them, what happens here stays here. So do not leave here and start calling the ladies and telling the ladies what happened, because we know that happens every year, right? But some years are worse than others. Some things get out that cause more problems than others. And so Tommy was like, do not go out here repeating what was said. What was said here is sacred. And I'm sure he's going to say the same thing to the ladies. Now, the reality is they ain't going to do it. But I can appreciate that he said it, and he was very clear about that. I can appreciate that, okay? So the guys were talking about, we also found out that there's this second chance lifeline thing this year. Basically, it's a save. You know, if you feel like somebody was voted off and it was done in error, then you can save them. I don't know how that's going to work out, but okay, whatever. We'll see how that works. Okay. So the tops this week seem to be Mercedes, Morgan, and Jeffrey. Those seem to be the ladies that a couple of the guys. When I think of the tops, I'm talking about the people whose names I heard more than one time from the guys, okay? So I heard Mercedes, Morgan, and Jeffrey's name more than once. Some other women's names came up, but the way it was edited, I only heard their name one time, so, you know. Now, who was in the bottom was Corvea and Z. Corvea was in the bottom because they were like, look, she just doing too much, you know, the whole I want a man that lives alone, and, you know, Mark Anthony feeling like she was coming off as like a little gold digger, whatever. And so the guys were like, they just not really connecting with her. Z, they said the same thing I said. After she was in the bottom last week, she just seemed to be more concerned about why she was in the bottom than trying to get to know them and really trying to get out of the bottom. So Lyndon took Corvea out, and Corvea was like, why are we here? Like, I thought I made it clear that he's not my type, that he's not somebody I would date. So why are me and him on a date? And same thing with Z. Blake ended up taking Z out, and Z was like, okay, we did this. We did this. Like, we did the date. It didn't work. Like, why are we here again? So Linda was trying to talk to Corvea, and she was like, I don't know why were the guys putting my name in their mouth? Why was I in the bottom? I mean, I'm beautiful. I mean, I have a lot to offer. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is. And Lyndon was like, girl, you coming off a bit. Like, it's okay to say that you have things that you want in a relationship. She was like, that's a good thing, right? I mean, it's a good thing to say that I know what I want and I'm not going to settle. I like a certain lifestyle and I'm going to date a man that can maintain my lifestyle. Because she's equating somebody who, if you have a roommate or if you live with somebody, that means that you're broke or you don't have enough money to treat her the way she wants to be treated. That's what she's equating in her head. And my thing is, you never know why people have roommates or why they don't live alone. And it doesn't always mean they can't afford to live alone, right? You just don't know the situation. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Oh, so, but they kept her another week, child. It was Z that went home because, child, nobody was clicking with Z. Just nobody was really clicking with Z. So, again, Corvea, girl, I'm going to keep my eye on you. I feel like you don't get a lot of screen time because of the way you say things and because of the attitude that you have. But I got my eye on you, girl, because I feel like, it's going to be some controversy with you and some of your means. But anyway, that's pretty much what happened. So we'll see what happens next week when it's a women's elimination. I feel like I was going to call him Francois. I feel like Fabrice is going to be in the bottom. I feel like he's going to have some problems, okay? Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.